All right, next up is another video from John Crump show earlier today. And in this one, effectively what happens is Walt Anderson comes at me with a switchblade. However, he didn't actually come at me with a switchblade as much as try to brain nerd me into a corner. So this is my defense of my position when I was assaulted by Walt in John Crump show.
So the second point, though, is on the distraction note. Everything's a distraction in this view, I think, and this is another issue. So no matter what we do, we can't seem to get at the root of anything, and everything is smoke and mirrors for other smoke and mirrors. And I think this is why I take an issue with the distraction language. I think that our political adversaries, the anti-gun people out there that genuinely want to take away your gun rights for whatever reason, whether that's to win votes, whether that's just their prerogative, whether they think it's good public policy, they are our political adversaries. There's no real way around that. We have ways that we deal with political adversaries. We can turn them to our side. We can invalidate their influence. We can play the politics game, right? But whatever we do, they want that shipment appointment. They would love for these brace regulations to go through. They would love for the firearms redefinition to go through. They love when gun control gets passed everywhere. And I think it's clear that while we can walk and chew gum and we can talk about the micro level and the macro level and the different levels of strategy, so can they, right? And so just because they have one particular area they're pushing in doesn't mean that the other one's a distraction. I think they want both, and I think both, it's possible that there can be more than one credible threat on the table at a time, and we need to be able to discuss that.
That's all I've been saying. So what are you saying? Stop everything and let's worry about the details of this pistol brace issue that is going on simultaneously as the other one that's not even done being commented on?
I'm saying we should walk and chew gum. I think that we can talk about more than one issue, and I think we can advocate on more than one issue, the same way that they do. That's all. So that's why I think maybe when you're using the distraction language, maybe that's kind of what you're referring to. When I hear it, I'm like, I'm hearing, I think maybe the exact opposite of what you're intending. Then, if we're agreed on this point,
probably, because it sounds like what you're enunciating is different than what the comments seem to be suggesting. That by suggesting that we can take this in stride, since this is our third comment period that we've, at least at this point, been taken care of handily in the last 6 months, instead of just taking that and saying, what's next? Let's keep going, as you would in a fight. We want to sit here and go, oh, they punched us in the face again. Let's talk about how this is different than the last time they punched us in the face. And what if they punch us in the face again? I'm just saying, let's stop counting punches and let's start thinking about how to punch.
Yeah, I mean, we have to, to that end, we have to be able to talk about what's happened. We also have to talk about what we're going to do, and we have to talk about where that fits into our broader play, right?
Right. All great. And I think part of being an advocate, part of being aware in the community, just, getting your bearings in a fight, right, in a chaotic situation, is figuring out who's like, no, let's stop and let's explore every little minor detail. Let's not look big picture and think about next. Let's stop and think about what just happened and then what everybody else's reaction was to what just happened.
I wrote down 3 things really quick, and it's like this: stand strong, ain't shook. What's next? That's how I'm feeling based on what you guys are saying. Go ahead, Walt.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right paradigm. And I think that we can say, okay, of all the things that I can do, right, where we want to look at this as individuals, I think this is something where just generally, I think right libertarians struggle with the language around working together a lot of the time, because it feels like it can feel very hive-mindy and like a very, I think, like leftist thing to do. But the reality is, right, the founding fathers had to unite for a common cause, right, in order to found the nation to begin with. Right. We had a lot of thought, a lot of different people coming from a lot of different ideological backgrounds coming in to make that happen. And it's okay for us to say, hey, look, we have our disagreements, but we're going to drive forward on this thing together because we all believe in it, and we need to be able to do that. And we need to be able to take pride in that. Right. Is that something where we can feel comfortable agreeing on? Because I think that's also necessary for this discussion.
I don't know if you have to imply pride in it. I mean, accomplishment, like acknowledgement. But if you've got people that are seriously opposed and they're willing to work together, I don't think either one of them have to be happy that they were able to do it. But if they at least acknowledge that it was done and that it worked, then they didn't, they both had the goal accomplished and they didn't suffer from it. That would be happy for me. And the part about all of them getting together, I think it was most of them. I'm no scholar, but I'm guessing a few of the founding fathers were like, no, I don't like this still, so I'm going to hang around and wait, or, I'll just do it begrudgingly. But I hear what you're saying. Overall, and in hindsight, yeah, they got together and accomplished a goal that was kind of a compromise for probably all of them a little bit, but not a compromise from the super goal or the overall goal of each of them. United overall.
Yeah. I would encourage people to go back and take a look at the First Continental Congress. If you go back, you can see the historical record reflects those conversations, and exactly what G is saying right there. And one of the things that's occurring to me, I know that you like to rip on Kant sometimes, Walt. Can we establish a categorical imperative?
And it was at this point that DJ'd the conversation into a bunch of brain nerd talk, but that's my point in this video. There'll be one more of these. Let us know in the comments what you think. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel. Thanks for watching.
The guys and gals at gunwebsite.com encourage you to take a CCW course every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.